On the day I was diagnosed with a terminal illness, Yi Jinghan exposed my identity as the imposter daughter of the Su family. He brought back the real heiress and allowed her to torment me until our father beat me brutally, throwing me out of the house, choking on sobs, enduring unimaginable suffering. It dawned on me then, childhood betrothal, youthful companionship, all crumbled before destiny's whim. Later, when the true heiress cooed softly, Yi Jinghan demanded I marry in her place. They even wanted my kidney. On our engagement day, he snatched away my betrothal token, declaring, "Only what I give you may be worn. Wait, I'll gift you something finer." Oblivious to my impending death, he eagerly prepared gifts while I grew too weary to wait. 3 years after being cast out, Yi Jinghan came for me, to substitute for his fiancée's arranged marriage. Clutching a tattered market stall handbag holding all my worldly possessions, including a yellow terminal diagnosis slip, I sat uneasily in his multi-million yuan luxury car. He glanced sideways at the window, tone curt, "How have you been these years?" My fingers unconsciously tightened around a tiny hole in my sweater as I whispered, "Fine." His mocking laugh followed. "Fate's unfair. You enjoyed decadence in the Su household while she suffered." Pulling my collar closer to hide fresh, unhealed wounds beneath, I muttered, "Sorry." His scornful gaze raked over me. "Once you're back, obey 2 rules. Behave. Seal the Zhou family deal. Complete it, and 2 million will hit your account." Desperate for funds to stave off death, I had no choice. Days prior, amidst debt collectors smashing my dead gambler father's door, my shivering self cornered in a mattressless room, Yi Jinghan's call came. Unaware of my illness, he knew rejection wasn't an option. "This benefits you," he taunted. "Right again. But doubt not at me, an imposter masquerading as Su Lamian?" Exposure meant certain abandonment. Hesitantly, I protested, "But the Zhous won't accept." He cut me off sharply. "Make them. After everything Su Lamian endured because of you, don't you owe her reparations?" Swallowing bitterness, I recalled how futile efforts had been, like loving him, back at the Su residence. Barely had I stepped down when Su Lamian skipped into Yi Jinghan's arms, giggling. "Brother Jinghan, slow sisters returned." Her sugary voice triggered visceral revulsion. She purred, "Heard your daddy died gambling? Disaster follows wherever you go. First our family, now him." Draped over Yi Jinghan, she added venomously, "Watch out, darling. She's cursed." Everyone knew. Su Manman adored Yi Jinghan obsessively, while he loathed her. Bets circulated. Would he break the childhood pact? They underestimated his malice. 3 years ago, he'd paraded Su Lamian home, shattering my world. Accusations flew. Stolen papers, threats, character assassination. My defiance only fueled their fury. Shielding her, Yi Jinghan watched our father flog me unconscious. Dazed, bloodied, I was tossed like garbage to my biological father's den, a deeper hell. At his throaty rumble, I flinched violently. Still clinging, trembling, I stammered apologies. And no, never again. Before 17, Song Shangyun had mothered me. Approaching her now, head bowed, I murmured, "Aunt Song." Warm tears suddenly soaked my wrist. Choking up, she cried, "Child, your skin and bones." Su Lamian lounged nearby. "Oh, performing tragedy for sympathy? Classic." Mrs. Song silenced her, tender toward me. "We spoiled her rotten. Forgive her sharp tongue." Stunned, she'd never defended me publicly. Past strictness flashed, blame assigned without trial. Bloodlines mattered. Wiping away tears long dried during nights starving, beaten, threatened with machetes, I managed a smile. "I'm fine." Relief came too late. Humiliation spared them witnessing my lowest moments. That evening, Mrs. Song arranged my meeting with Zhou Rucheng, the heir. Su Lamian insisted on driving me. Her generosity spelled disaster. I recalled my first meeting with Su Liang. It was when I pestered Yi Jinghan to accompany me for my birthday celebration. Midway through the event, he received an urgent phone call and left abruptly, his face etched with worry. Concerned, I abandoned my own party and followed him. Watching him carry a girl out of the Yi residence straight to the hospital, I rushed around to help, paying fees, arranging for household servants to deliver nutritious meals. Seeing Yi Jinghan's tender care, his eyes utterly focused on her, I realized then that he could be gentle too. When Su Liang woke up and saw me, she shrank back under the blanket in fear. Yi Jinghan turned, scowled and barked, "Get out! Don't cause trouble here." My explanation died in my throat as I stood clutching the still warm dishes. Later, a servant revealed that Su Liang was a scholarship student saved by Yi Jinghan, impoverished and pitiable, thus sheltered in the Yi mansion. Even then, I sensed her faint hostility toward me, a whisper of malice that later solidified into something tangible, something that clawed at my bones, thirsting for my ruin. She led me to a private room and vanished, saying someone would come for me. Yet hours passed, no one arrived. The waiters, presumably instructed, didn't even offer water. She knew this exclusive restaurant was beyond my means. By dusk, she texted a new address across town, East Side, though I was west. Rain poured as I trudged through the city, shivering in cheap, ill-fitting clothes, my hair matted to my skull. Hunger and exhaustion blurred my vision. At the steps of Joe's elite club, I cupped rainwater to drink, catching my haggard reflection. Gaunt face, frostbitten fingers, threadbare dress. Then fate spat. Zhou Qingduan appeared. Our grudge simmered from an art exhibit where my paintings sold out while hers gathered dust. She blamed the curator, but I'd snapped. Talent isn't begged, it's earned. Now her cronies jeered. Look what the cat dragged in. Sue's future sister-in-law. Zhou shoved me down the stairs. As she raised her hand again, Yi Jinghan intercepted, dismissing her crowd with chilling efficiency. I'll take her home, he said, umbrella shielding him like armor. I refused, pride flaring despite trembling legs. He smirked cold, mocking. Aunt Song's orders. Another lie wrapped in duty. Years earlier, I'd waited outside banquet halls for him, offering warm tea between deals. He never noticed, or pretended not to. My confessions echoed unheard. His silence was rejection gilded with politeness. That night, fever consumed me. Aunt Song sighed beside my bed. Lian's fulfilling the marriage pact now. You understand? Oh, I understood. Su Liang's return unraveled my world. Accusations flew. Stolen jewels, broken vases, all staged. Even hope turned vicious. When Aunt summoned me to dinner, it was another trap. My choked mother earned shattered porcelain and Su Liang's triumphant smile. Ice filled the cavity where warmth once lived. Now Aunt played matchmaker again. The company needs Zhou's backing. Marry their heir. Consider it. Gratitude for our care. Gratitude? They'd fed me scraps while dressing Su Liang in silk. But refusal meant death. My illness demanded treatment only wealth could buy. So I bargained with Zhou Ruqing, the playboy heir. Try being engaged. I begged, voice cracking. Just try. He relented, calling me a schemer. News spread fast. Su Liang threw a celebration. A den of vipers. They forced liquor down my throat, made me eat discarded food off the floor. Through it all, Yi Jinghan watched from the shadows, I stormy. When I swallowed a cherry and praised its sweetness, his jaw clenched. Let him glare. He'd brought me here. As I reached out to pick up that dust-covered slice of bread, a pair of expensive leather shoes suddenly stepped on top of it. Yi Jinghan's towering shadow seemed poised to engulf me entirely. His expression was obscured in the backlight. He didn't say a word, merely grabbing my arm and yanking me forcefully away. What kind of pity act are you pulling today? For whose benefit? He thought I was faking it. I swallowed hard, skillfully choking down the lump of grievance lodged in my throat. Yi Jinghan was refined, remote, utterly unattainable. He truly didn't understand. Faced with genuine desperation, such humiliating tricks paled in comparison. I had learned to bow my head, never again refusing to yield, to carve out a bleeding, raw heart and lay it bare. That only led to misery. I heard you met Zhou Ruqing. Su Lian told me later. Do you care about me? Like I'd been scalded by my own words. Yi Jinghan flung my hand aside, his face darkening terrifyingly. How could I? I nodded mechanically. Good. His voice came out sharp and brittle. Then know this. Zhou family might want you, but I don't. He believed no one would ever truly value me. My phone rang. It was Zhou Ruqing. Before I could answer, Yi Jinghan moved. He snatched the phone, jabbed the decline button, and hurled it back at me with violent disdain. Bewildered, I looked up. Under the night sky, he appeared both furious and lost, like a deer trapped in headlights. Headlights swept across us then. It was Zhou Ruqing rolling down his window. A smirk played on his lips, effortlessly charming. Get in. Come with me tonight. The fallout from Yi Jinghan dragging me out of the bar hadn't ended. Su Lian wouldn't leave me alone, though she was occupied elsewhere for now. Then came Song Shangyun's birthday gala. Escorted to the entrance, I was predictably blocked. The Su family had summoned me, but forgotten to give an invitation. After brief words, security decided I was causing trouble and shoved me roughly backward. She's with me. An arm slid around my waist from behind, a low male voice cutting through the guard's roughness. Yi Jinghan. He shielded me, radiating authority. Instinctively, I stepped away. His proximity felt foreign. He seemed stunned by my retreat, frozen for a beat. His gaze locked onto something. My gaze dropped to the delicate pink diamond necklace glinting against my collarbone. From Zhou Ruqing? I nodded. A cold smile touched his lips as he reached out and ripped it off. Eyes turned toward us from the arriving guests. Every fiber screamed to snatch it back, but I clenched my fists until my nails bit skin. Mr. Yi, that's my property. Bending close, his breath grazed my ear. It's mine now. Want it back? Obey. Obedience had always been my currency with him, until he'd thrown me out of the Su household. Taking a step back, distancing myself from his scent, I shook my head vehemently. Don't need it anymore. Ignoring the stormy darkness gathering in his expression, I pulled out my phone and dialed Song Shang-yun. Moments later, a steward appeared, guiding me forward. I followed without looking back. I didn't need Yi Jingyin's intervention. I wasn't his escort. His fleeting presence no longer stirred satisfaction or foolish hope. Under countless watching eyes, I lifted my soiled hem and walked into the glittering world of privilege. The Su family offered no explanation for my presence, letting speculation ripple through the crowd. Glasses of liquor were pressed into my hands one after another. They knew Song Shang-yun Suja. Everyone knew I couldn't tolerate alcohol. Through shifting bodies, I saw Su Lian basking in parental affection at the center of attention. Song Shang-yun finally relented to her wheedling demands, smiling approval. Onlookers sighed enviously at the harmonious family scene. None noticed the girl shrinking into a corner. I straightened my spine, accepting glass after glass offered by familiar faces, drinking them dry. It was her birthday, no disruptions. For 17 years, there'd been a space between Song Shang-yun and Suja reserved for me. Each birthday, she'd paraded me beside her, basking in praise. Now, those moments felt like a distant life. Amidst perfume and shimmering gowns, dizziness washed over me. A steward steered me toward Song Shang-yun, who tenderly fastened a bracelet around my wrist. Lian's overwhelmed. She murmured softly, "Help your sister." Her public declaration hung in the air. This child is still cherished, equally precious. Navigating the dim hallway toward Su Lian's room, I found it empty but unlocked. Turning to leave, voices shattered the silence from nearby. My blood ran cold. A man had Su Lian pinned, his hands roving freely. She made no move to resist. "After driving your real father to death, you promised 50 grand. Where's my money?" Ice crawled down my spine. Su Lian's biological father was Suja, very much alive. Unless he meant the gambler? Financial trouble plagued the Su Corporation lately. A failed contract left funds frozen. Past payouts created a deficit they couldn't cover. "You think being big sister is easy?" Su Lian argued back. Negotiations broke down instantly. The man's palm cracked across her face. "Who do you think you're talking to? How did you become Miss Su anyway?" His voice dripped with contempt. "That fraudster set you up. You dare act like royalty." He spun menacing. "Pay up, or I find your fake parents and bleed them dry." Paralyzed, I stood frozen, not just by his revelations, but recognition. This was the thug who'd terrorized my life after my return to the gambler's den. He'd beaten me, almost sold me. Why did even the gambler favor Su Lian? Beating me while keeping her childhood photos? If our identities were swapped deliberately, it all snapped into focus. For him, my death would seal her secret safely. "Who's there?" The man's head whipped toward my hiding spot. Panic seized me. I held my breath, grateful I'd already shifted position. A metallic clatter echoed sharply in the deserted hall. I'd bumped into a door. 3 pairs of eyes locked. Shock flooded Su Lian's face, followed by feral fury. "Grab her." Before I could react, the man lunged. I bolted, memory guiding me toward the nearest exit where guards might be. Cold wind knifed through my skirt, chilling my knees as adrenaline surged. Ducking behind a dumpster, I peered out. He pursued relentlessly. Another figure emerged from the shadows behind him, masked and capped. Voice venomous. "Take her out. Name your price." "Alive or dead?" the thug asked gruffly. The masked figure smiled, chillingly sweet. "Either. Alive, amuse yourself first. Dead, dispose neatly." Standing roadside, she bared teeth in a predatory grin. "Stop wasting time." My whole body trembled uncontrollably. Cars sped past, oblivious to the danger unfolding beside the secluded exit. No guards nearby. The thug circled closer, cursing. Another set of headlights approached, faster than thought. Pure survival instinct drove me bursting from cover. She spotted me instantly. No time to command the thug. Her body became a barrier. I slammed into her midsection with desperate force. We flew forward together as tires screeched, wrenching my neck instinctively to protect it. I tucked and rolled with all my might. Crash. Looking back through the chaos, my eyes locked with Su Lian's terrified face midair. The thug fled. To preserve appearances, the Su family declared it an accident. After the car accident, Su Lian suffered multiple internal organ ruptures, with her left kidney being the most severely damaged. Still unconscious, she clung stubbornly to my ankle, a desperate grip that cost me a brutal leg injury. Doctors warned my right leg might never function normally again. Staring at the densely packed medical records, I suddenly laughed out loud. The laughter turned raspy midway, startling nearby nurses who hesitated before one tentatively offered comfort. "You're young, there's still hope." I forced a twisted smile to cut her off. She didn't know I was dying. All those years of struggle, losing everything, yet gaining nothing. Tears wouldn't come. Even breathing felt like shards tearing through my gut. Just as the doctor finished instructions but lingered awkwardly, studying me intently, she finally spoke. "Are you Su Man from the Su family? Did you ever sponsor a female student?" I blinked, digging through memory. Yes, I'd funded a group of scholarship students. Nodding slowly, her entire face lit up like fireworks. "I found you. I'm Lin Xiaozhou. You changed my life," she chattered breathlessly, recounting how my casual generosity had shaped her path. My eyes burned fiercely. Funny, this farcical, futile existence had once carved light into someone else's darkness. When Su Lian woke, she shocked everyone. Calm, almost eerily obedient, her first words were, "It's my fault for being spoiled. I've dragged sister down." She refused food, silenced herself, reducing Yi Jinghan to anxious devotion. He never left her side, neither did Song Shangyun or Suzha. While they clustered around her bedside, I sat slumped in a wheelchair outside her room, her silent prisoner. She feared I'd expose what happened before the crash. Though she needn't worry, I'd warned the Sus and Yi Jinghan repeatedly. "Something's wrong here. Investigate again." Only enmity answered. They called me greedy, vile. So I learned silence. 3 years ago, doctors diagnosed my gastric cancer. Penniless and delayed treatment led to this. Terminal decay accelerated by the Sus cruelty. Lately, extra tests appeared daily. Unaware, I missed their significance until now. Song Shangyun held a paper coldly, her expression stony, the calculated stillness of someone weighing lives. Like when I'd begged her years ago, "Let me stay as a servant. Just don't throw me away, mother." But she'd stepped back silently, sealing my fate. Now she handed the document to Yi Jinghan. My nails dug into my palms. Under blankets, Su Lian wept softly. His sigh echoed, "Tell me anything." Her voice trembled, malice flashing at me. "Jinghan brother Su Man took my kidney. Make her give me one back." Time froze. The match notification, my compatibility with Su Lian, burned in his hand. He avoided my gaze. One word sentenced me. Tears spilled uncontrollably. Yi Jinghan arranged a meeting with Zhou Rucheng, another victim manipulated into our engagement. Pale and gaunt, I scared him with my deathly pallor. "Lost your necklace," I slurred. "Report me if you want. Penury's my only asset anyway." Half-breed, not even proper Su scum. Lin Xiaozhou burst in panicked. "They're coming, with surgery papers. Don't sign." I waved her off. Later, the Sus entered together. 2 documents, an organ donation waiver and a fat check buying my life. Their hopeful stares met my venomous grin, identical to the haughty Princess Su Man of 3 years prior. I shredded both papers. No, untreated, dying anyway. They recoiled, disgusted yet trapped by Su Lian's needs. Sweet justice. Did they wonder how their faces would crack if they knew she was the imposter? Yi Jinghan stayed longest. "Operate," he bargained, "and I'll consider possibilities. But marriage? Never. My wife must be true Su blood." Translated, mistress status offered. My laugh erupted, guttural, painful, until they shifted uneasily. Through wheezes, "Consider, you offer scraps after stealing everything? Who do you think you are?" Yi Jinghan was once a golden boy, never having been publicly humiliated like this before. Unable to endure even a shred of indignity, he immediately turned hostile. "Su Man, don't push your luck. If I want to, you won't get a single cent. Opportunities are seized. You refused me today, and tomorrow you'll regret it." I watched him lose control with cold indifference. This was the man I had poured my heart out for. At this moment, I finally admitted how blind I'd been. The young nurse responsible for changing my dressings poked her head in, frowning. "This is a hospital. Keep quiet. Don't you know the patient is critically ill and needs rest? Who are you people to her?" Yi Jinghan and the other 2 exchanged glances, seemingly choked into silence. What exactly was their relationship with me? None whatsoever. Song Shangyun hesitated before asking, "Isn't it just a foot injury? Why is she so sick?" The nurse replied impatiently, "I was just coming to inform you. Her cancer cells have spread throughout her body. It's terminal. I need to supervise her medication. Non-relatives should leave now. Don't hinder us." Annoyed, I closed my eyes, unwilling to see Song Shangyun's face drain of color instantly. The ward seemed to plunge into vacuum-like silence, thick enough to choke on. Never before had I heard Song Shangyun's voice tremble so violently she couldn't form sentences. Man, what did that little nurse say? What does cancer cells mean?" Taking a deep breath, I opened my eyes and looked at her near tears expression. Honestly, it repulsed me slightly. "Cancer? Didn't you hear? Are you deaf?" Flinging the thick stack of medical records onto her face, I snapped, "Get out if you have nothing better to do." Yet Yi Jinghan refused to leave. Not only did he stay, he shamelessly tried to move into my hospital room. No matter how sarcastically I mocked him, he clung on like a stubborn stray dog, all for Su Lian's sake. He'd thrown away any shred of dignity. My body grew thinner daily, skin taut over bone, grotesquely gaunt. Though early summer had arrived, I remained buried under heavy blankets, shivering constantly. I knew my immune system had completely collapsed. Death wasn't far off. Lin Xiaozhou arrived with the children I'd sponsored. They brought gifts, hand-drawn portraits based on my photo, handmade cups hoping to brighten my mood during medication. Only when looking at them did my physical wounds stop throbbing. My heart, however, had long grown numb. Yi Jinghan stood awkwardly aside, ignored by all. An invisible wall divided the room, lively warmth beside my bed, isolation on his side. He likely hadn't expected so many souls to cherish me. He even presented me with a necklace, finer than Zhou Ruqing's gift. "It's an engagement token," he claimed. I smirked nonchalantly, and Su Lian, silence stretched until he murmured, "When I'm with you, I don't want to mention her." Oh, meaning he saved her name for outside the doorstep. Fine, drop Su Lian, I stated flatly, fixing my gaze on the wavering figure at the doorway, and make her give me back my leg. Greed lit his eyes. He agreed without hesitation. Su Lian wailed dramatically outside, cursing Yi Jinghan as a betrayer. She dared not confront me directly. Hatred burned behind her eyes, but powerlessness kept her at bay. She knew I held her secrets, deadly leverage keeping her docile, though far from obedient enough. This was my first response to Yi Jinghan since his vigil began. That afternoon, I gifted the necklace to the cleaning lady and instructed her where best to sell it. Waste not good things, give them to those who need them. Consider it merit for my next life. Every subsequent gift from him went to the young nurses. They adored me, inventing ways to lift my spirits. My final days weren't marked by sorrow. Waking hours dwindled, days blurred into nights, yet my mind found peace. Yi Jinghan never left. Rejecting nursing staff, he learned caregiving himself. Lin Xiaozhou noted his surprising competence. "Such devotion," she scoffed. "He's waiting for you to soften, hoping you'll sign that organ donation form. Once you're gone, he'll harvest your kidneys for Su Lian." I wouldn't let him win, but neither did I have strength left to fight him. Pain consumed me entirely. Dying peacefully sounded almost merciful. Fate intervened cruelly. While Yi Jinghan carried me to change dressings, I hemorrhaged blood. Panic twisted his features comically as crimson soaked his designer suit. Helpless, blood gushed down my throat. I choked, gagged, coughing pink froth. Too undignified an exit. Blood loss sent me crashing into surgery. Worse news followed. I had panda blood, Rh negative, and hospital reserves were empty. Through hazy awareness, I heard nurses discuss donors outside, Song Shangyun and Suzha. Irony tasted bitter. Rare panda blood ran in Su family veins, except Su Lian's. After my accident, I'd confirmed her transfusion was A+. Had they noticed the discrepancy now? Consciousness slipped away, floating above my motionless body, transparent and detached. I observed the scene below, crowded around my bed. Xiaozhou, kind-faced nurses, Suzha, Yi Jinghan, unrecognizable, unkempt beard, stained clothes, wild eyes locked desperately on me. Suzha aged decades overnight, glasses fogged as he wiped endless tears. Song Shangyun wept hysterically. Man, wake up, look at Mama. Mama begs you, believe me, you're our daughter. Strange, she'd forbidden me from calling her mother 3 years prior. One slip led to instant expulsion. She isn't my mother, she's Su Lian's. Now her cries continued. Mama was wrong. That viper lied. We should have believed you. You're our real daughter. Their grief felt hollow. Too late. Far too late. Sudden force pulled me back into flesh. Consciousness surged. Song Shangyun clutched my hand, desperate. We'll cure you. Whatever it takes. Fight with us. Jingan's here. He loves you. Look at him. With immense effort, I shook my head, unable to meet his eyes. Someone sobbed over my hand, his voice breaking amidst roaring confessions. Man, I love you. Truly, I was wrong. Please forgive me. I didn't know you were ill. You're the only one. If you leave, I'll follow. Next life, I swear. Amidst Yi Jingan's ragged pleas, my senses faded forever. I didn't love him, could never love him again. He tried to kill me. How could I? Gathering last strength, I pried my hand free, an eternal rejection. The updated DNA report shattered Song Shangyun's composure completely. Trembling violently, pallid, she staggered. Suzha sighed endlessly, aging before our eyes. Years ago, Yi Yi Jinghan had rescued Su Lian from human traffickers, moved by eyes that reminded him of a stubborn little girl who'd followed him shouting, "Brother Jinghan." That girl had been defiant, never crying, unlike the calculated victim act Su Lian perfected, brought home sheltered, unaware her savior couldn't see through her scheme. Her goal? Eliminate the legitimate Su heiress standing between her and Yi Jinghan. Exploiting the Su parents' greed and emotional distance, she orchestrated the perfect substitution. Against odds, she succeeded. The Su family imploded, becoming public mockery. When news came of the elder daughter's death, Song Shangyun collapsed, rushed to ER. Yi Jinghan blamed Su Lian utterly. Blind to danger, Su Lian raged as usual, until his furious shove sent her tumbling downstairs. Discharged that night, stripped of privileges and credit lines, sued for fraud, she was thrown onto the streets. Penniless, unemployable, burdened by debt, she turned to predatory loans. Her beauty landed her in nightclubs. Though some bosses lusted, Yi Jinghan's warning kept her unprotected. Earnings vanished instantly to courts. Abortion costs unaffordable. She chose a back alley clinic. Botched procedure rendered her sterile. Unable to bear the fall from grace, she jumped weeks later. Yi Jinghan cracked. Disowned by his family, stripped of inheritance, he insisted on staying in her old ward. Days blurred as he scribbled her name obsessively on walls, muttering promises of eternity. It looked utterly ridiculous. Where were they all this time? Now that she's gone, putting on such a show, who exactly does he think he's fooling? Both daughters of the Su family are lost. The failed alliances with Yi and Zhou families sank Su group. Song Shangyun and Su Zhou are mired in a messy divorce battle. At Su Manman's gravesite, Lin Xiaozhou speaks slowly, recounting everything that happened afterward. The autumn breeze keeps her company as she lays down a bouquet of white flowers for me, so lovely, yet I can no longer smell their delicate fragrance. After my death, my spirit lingered stubbornly near the tombstone, refusing to depart, perhaps because I never found peace in life. Now that all dust has settled, my soul begins to fade gradually, like a kite with its string snipped, drifting away without looking back. Long roads traversed, mist and smoke vanish.